So, in this video, in this part, I'll be talking you through 3 things I love about the Grenadier and 3 things they ought to improve on. So, let's do it. The first is basically my excitement about the Grenadier taking that ladder defender chassis and doing their magic with the front axle and the rear axle and adding a very reliable BMW engine to that. I think that magic will blow Land Rover and many other off-road producers out of the water. So I'm really excited about that, about the fact that we're getting something that will really make driving off-road for novices like myself a breeze. So looking forward to that. That's one. Number 2, which I'm actually a lot more excited about, is what I like to call the OffRoad Offering. I think it's staggering how much you get as sort of basic for a basic model. And what do I mean by that? So let's go back. So number 1 is just looking at this. I mean, if you look at the steering guard, in my Defender, for example, and in many other Defenders, these steering guards don't come as standard. You buy them, and they cost a few £100. So to know that this comes as standard, for me, I think it's a big win as far as Grenadier is concerned. And if you go right to the back of the Grenadier, you will see also, where is it? I think it should be this. It's loading. There we go. Let's get a better angle on it. Nope. Okay, here we are. So if you look here, the rear is protected as well. So I will bet that actually the all undercarriage also has some sort of protection. So when you're doing rock crawling or you're driving in sort of really rough terrains, you can be rest assured that the underneath of your Grenadier is protected, and that comes as standard. That's incredible. I respect that. That's amazing. So that's one of the things I really like in terms of the OffRoad Offering. Also, I picked on this earlier. I wanted to show you this, and I'll show you other things as well. Where are you? So think about this. I currently own a Defender, as I said several times to you now. And in order for you to carry things on the side of your Defender, most of the time you have to drill into it. And I think it's a breath of fresh air to know that this already comes with rails for you to install. It could be your water carrier. It could be your extra fuel. It could be your gas tank for cooking gas tank. Just attach them to this, and you're done. That's it. And I think that's really impressive. But I think overall, just the amount of effort and energy that has gone into thinking about the off-road use of this Grenadier, I think is mind-blowing. Let me show you one more thing, for example. So let's go to the back, and hopefully we get the back right this time. That's the side. This is the back. Yes, this is the back. So I'll show you this. So let's say we go back to configuring. I added ladder earlier. Let's say I take my ladder off. Not that. Here we go. I don't want a ladder anymore. Take that off. So ladder is out, right? Now I want you to look at these. You have the holes pre-drilled for you. So if you don't want a ladder now, that's fine. But when you change your mind and you decide to buy a ladder, there is no drilling. It's done for you. Just get it and attach it. And that's it. It's done. And I think that is amazing. Just knowing you don't have to drill into potentially a 50,000 pounds truck. I mean, that would make me sleep better at night. So again, it's just knowing that these things have been well thought through in building the Grenadier. I think it's a huge plus for me. So I really like that. And last thing I'll be picking up on for now is the roof. It's not on fire, but I hope you can sit properly. Actually, maybe let's go back and give you a better view of this. Let's change the roof color to white. So we've got a white roof here, and you can see these black rubbers attached to the roof. So what this is showing me, and from what other videos I've seen, what this is saying is you can actually carry bulky, I mean like your canoe, or say your paddleboarding or your small tiny sort of boats. You can carry them on your Grenadier, and I imagine hook them to these here, and your paintwork won't be damaged. And you can do that without having a roof rack. I think it's a huge plus. Again, this comes as standard. I think that's just that's incredibly impressive. So that's that. Sorry about that. And then one final thing. Again, just thinking about how I feel many things in this truck have been thought through is this snorkel, for example, right? So if you look at this, so let's take my snorkel off, or air intake, as it is called, raised air intake. So let's take it off. It's off now, right? When it eventually loads. If you look here, it's already prepared for you to attach a snorkel when you're ready to do that. Now, when I needed to attach a snorkel to my Defender, I had to drill. I mean, I didn't do it, but I needed to drill and then I have to attach a snorkel. But with this, it's done. It's prepared. It's finished. Just buy it and attach it. And I think that's, again, very impressive from the Grenadier. So in a way, I think that, and the final point actually I should say is, I think they've done really well with the options for sort of, being able to get an option for winch, having rock sliders. I think is quite impressive. These are things you would find in, say, a Ford Bronco and other cars, not Defender, Land Rover. They don't offer you that option. But also, just thinking about the options you have here, in terms of having the ladder, having the raised air intake. I think the gull wing windows, I think that's really good for a car manufacturer to actually include as options. Usually you get those done by the aftermarket guys and added them for you. So overall, I feel they've thought through incredibly well the utilitarian use and the off-road use, and that comes through in the options and the configurations of the car. So that's that. Now the final thing I really like and I'm impressed about with the Grenadier actually isn't so much the Grenadier, but more so the process of interacting and configuring your Grenadier. I think it's incredible. It's very straightforward. You've got the exterior configuration, you've got the interior configuration, and it's all very intuitive. You don't have 45 options. And the reason why I say that is, I went on the Defender website and I tried to configure something similar to the Grenadier, and you won't believe how many options they have. It's just mind-boggling. I mean, and it's so stressful having to go through everything. You really need a few good hours to just go through. So you've got, for example, accessory pack. You've got the Explorer pack, Adventure pack, Country pack, Urban pack, and then you move on to the exterior. Then the exterior has subsections you've got to go through, and then you go through the interior, and the interior has several subsections you've got to go through. Then you go through options. I thought these are all options. Then you've got several sections you've got to go through. Then you go through accessories. I'm thinking, oh my God, please stop. So the point here is, I feel the platform Grenadier provided and the approach they've taken, it's very simplistic. It just goes straight to the point and speaks to the truck itself. And I think you should keep that. Please don't change it. I appreciate they'll be adding more options to this eventually, and we'll talk about that later. But please, please, please keep it simple. You have to keep it simple. And I think that will make people sort of interact and engage with it a lot more. Now that brings us to the end of the 3 things I really like about the Grenadier. Now let's talk about 3 things I would like the Grenadier to improve on. And I must say, these 3 things, they're not necessarily bad points. I think it's basically, I feel Grenadier have already gone sort of 2/3 of the way, and it's just pushing them a little bit further. So it's basically just do more of what you're currently doing, and by taking those extra few steps, I think you'll open up to a wider market, and people will find something exciting, more exciting things to do with the Grenadier. So what are those 3 things? The first thing I'd like to mention, and I need to go out of the exterior, I need to show you. The first thing on my list is a roof rack option. You simply have to have a roof rack option. You've got a ladder. Where's my ladder? Come on. I need my ladder. There you are. Good. So you've given me an option for a ladder. You've given me an option for raised air intake. I've got everything else. I even have rock sliders. Why don't I have a ladder? So I definitely need Grenadier to add a roof rack. Rather, add a roof rack as an option. Please, you must do that. And whilst you're at it, I think the roof rack should come in 2 options. You should have a full length roof rack for those who perhaps don't want to have the safari windows. I think you should have a full length roof rack where, for example, as I have on my Defender, you can have a, oh yes, that's it. You can have a roof tent on the roof rack. Then you can maybe have, a fuel tank on one side, and you can have a box on the other side. And I think it's a really, really cool setup. And if you want, you can have space for sort of, lighting and things like that. But we'll come to that later. So roof rack is a must as an option. I think you should do that, and you should have the full length one. Then number 2, I think they should also have a 2/3 length one, which basically would go from here to here and would leave this space open for the safari windows. I personally would like safari windows, so I think if you can leave this open for me, that'd be great, and then I can get a roof rack that goes from here to here. So, first improvement option. Now I think it's just going that step further, and I appreciate it said on the website that more options will be added. I've got a ladder, I've got everything else, I need a roof rack, and you have to do it. And I cannot wait a year for the aftermarket people to do that. You have to do it. Please do it. Roof rack is a must. So that's number 1, roof rack. And whilst you're there, maybe you can do crossbars as well. We'll take that, as a cheaper alternative. But roof rack definitely, crossbars would be great. So that's number 1. Number 2 point I think they should improve on is lighting. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. Now this time you'll really test how intelligent I am. So is this the back? Let's see, is this the back? Am I right this time? Yes, I got it right. Now, looking at the back, I don't think I can zoom in. Let's see if I can. Oh yes, perfect. So if you think about, from a Defender perspective, right, you know how you like to kit out your truck, your car, whatever you want to call it, and we have light guards for Defenders, and some of us who don't like drilling, you can basically unscrew the rear light and attach light guards to it and then screw it back up. Now with these lights they have in the back, I cannot see how light guards can be added to this, and I think it's something people will want to do. people will want to add light guard protection to their lights. So please figure out how we can add light guards to this light. Or have pre-drilled holes like you've done for the ladder. Have pre-drilled holes in there so the aftermarket people can make light guards for us to add. So that's number one in terms of lights. Number two is, trust me, if I'm taking this off-road and I'm camping, I will want rear lights, rear spotlights. So again, please, can we have some holes pre-drilled here on these doors or here and here for us to add our lights to? You simply have to do that. I don't want to drill into that myself. Please don't make me do it. So I'm begging you, improve on that. Again, I feel you've gone a step further in doing everything you've done so far. So just give us some holes in there, please. We would appreciate that. And whilst you're at it, if you feel up to it, you know, I would appreciate personally, you know, if let's say is this a side, perfect. You could also decide to have pre-drilled holes here, again for a side light. I think that would be great. So that's and then one more thing actually, the final point as far as lights are concerned is, most likely people would want to have lights on the top of the Grenadier. So again, we need to run wires through for the lighting. If you can get 2 holes at the top or 1, or however you want to make it happen, please make it happen. We want to have the option to be able to install spotlights or floodlights on top of the Grenadier. I do appreciate that the lights you have here is probably A-star grade lights. It will be full beam, but honestly, this will look much better. I'm just thinking about the looks, you know, aesthetics. This will look much better with, you know, 4 lights on the top. It'll look really, really badass. So that's it as far as lighting is concerned. And the final thing I would like Grenadier to improve on again is, let's see if I get my back right. Yes, I'm learning. Tow bar. Can we tow? Are we allowed to tow? How are we going to do it? Are we getting a tow bar? Please look into it. One thing Defender owners are proud of is towing in snow and all of that. I want to tow with my Grenadier. I'm going to drive around looking for opportunities to tow. So please, let us know. Can we tow? Are we allowed to tow? Figure it out. And sorry. So that brings us to the end of this configuration and talking through my experience of reserving my Grenadier. Now, I'd like to thank you for watching. If you found this useful, helpful to you in your journey on deciding whether to reserve one, whether to buy one, please give this a thumbs up. If you have any comments, please share your comments. I'm still fairly new to this. I'm sort of building it up gradually. Let me know how I can present better to you. And finally, like, subscribe, please. And also, we are on Instagram. Instagram account is Land Rover Lex, L-E-K-S is the Lex. So follow us on Instagram. The Instagram account is actually more for sort of driving around the country, around the UK, camping and just sort of sharing our camping experience. Also, we'll be looking to driving around Europe and camping and doing all sorts. So you can follow our journey on Instagram as well. But you know what? You've been a great crowd. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll be uploading more videos on the Grenadier in the coming weeks. Follow, subscribe, likes, and take care. Thank you.